Alright, so it's about time I made another video. And especially about time I made another video about this. So, this is a Packard, the one that I did the Will It Run video on. Everybody's seen it pretty much because it's been in several other videos. It's also in my channel picture. So, what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to try to put a modern style 500 CFM 4-barrel on this. This 2-barrel doesn't work hardly at all anymore. If you've seen a couple of other videos I've done on this thing, it ran really good, but this carburetor here just don't want to work right anymore. It was hard to tune to start with and always ran lean. So I've got a 500 CFM 4-barrel to go back on it and an adapter. So we gotta get this old carburetor off, get the surfaces cleaned back up, and try to get the adapter bolted on. I also gotta pull the studs because this has studs and those won't work with the adapter. So get this homemade air cleaner off here too. So this thing ran pretty good for a while, but it kind of didn't stay that way. So I really want to try a 4-barrel on this thing. And originally, back when these things were new, you could get a 4-barrel on a 327 straight 8. But it had a different manifold. It wasn't using an adapter plate. It had a completely different manifold. And it was mostly on the Packard Caribbeans from 53 that had them. So, but you could get them in these because they made a police car option for this car that came with the light on the fender, and those had a 4-barrel. And they also made a Packard ambulance and a Packard fire truck too that had them. So 4-barrel was an option on it. 4-barrel for this was a Carter, and they were 475 CFM. The manifold, from everything I've done in my research on, will take 580. So I just went with a 500, and we'll see what that does. So I gotta get this old carburetor off here, and I'm gonna start with that. Alright, so I tried to zoom in on it, but I still don't know how well you can see. And ignore the wind noise. I don't really have a better place to park this right now. Get the fuel line off. Put that up there. Take the vacuum advance line off. Throttle return spring. Going ahead and get the throttle linkage. There's the throttle linkage. Alright. Now we can take these bolts out. I wish there was a way to get a socket in here. There's not. It's not really that cold out here today, it's just windy. Well, I'll never see that again. Where did it go? Well, that's it. Way back there. Alright, so got all the bolts out. Yeah, it wasn't even seated that well. Yeah, bit of gas in it. This gasket wasn't even seated, unfortunately. Doesn't look like bad though. And this darn spacer, I talked about this spacer. It's being compressed. It was like a compressed asbestos spacer that they used. And it's been a major vacuum leak ever since it's been on here. I wish I'd have bought a new one. Hopefully, I won't need one with this adapter. And yeah, I glued it on there good. There we go. Yeah, that won't be going back. Here's our gasket. I'm going to use that as a pattern. If I can get it off here in one piece. But I got to try to pull these studs out. But like I said, I'm going to try to get this gasket off in one piece. But it ain't gonna come off there in one piece. There. Not crusty down here at all. Still pretty clean. Alright, let's see if I can get these studs out of here. Alright, so I got all of the studs out except for one that decided to snap off, so I have to get that out. I'll be a raw pain in you know where. So now it's time to show what I got for carburetors. This is the adapter plate. This is a Mr. Gasket number 1933 part number, and that fits right down on there. I'm just hoping I'm not going to need a spacer. Sit it right there. And before anybody says anything about me buying one of these cheap eBay knockoff Edelbrocks, I'm just trying this out. I don't know how good this is going to work. So I'm going to be sure it's going to work. And this carburetor may be great, but it's 1404, 500 CFM. Of course, you got your gaskets and your jets that come with it. There's the carburetor. I have to put this back up on the tripod to set it on there and make sure all the linkage is clear. all the linkage is clear. Let's see if this rod lines up. No, it does not. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments here with the throttle rod. It might reach it far. There went the box. Might can adjust that and make it reach. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, everything lines up. There's no linkages hitting. So all of my bolt holes line up, and it looks pretty good on there. That's what it'll look like. But yeah, kind of wouldn't mind having a 1/2-inch spacer for there. So yeah, this ought to work out pretty good. Choke closes, and nothing rubs or hits anywhere. As far as I can see, it's actually got more clearance than the old carb. Alright, so I guess it's time to install this adapter plate. If you're installing one of these, if you're going to try this, you do have to modify the adapter plate to clear the manifold. Take a grinder and grind that little ear off. It don't matter, because that's for the this is for your this style of 4-bolt 2-barrel, and this is for like a Holly style 4-bolt 2-barrel. And then of course you got your 4-barrel mounts up here. These are all these 2 holes, these 2 holes, or these 4 holes, and these 4 are for your 4 barrels, and these 2 sets of holes and these 2 sets of holes are for the 2-barrel. So I won't be using that particular hole right there. I'll be using this one. See if I can get a decent shot. I moved the tripod. I'm sitting down in there. See if I can get a better shot. I re-tapped this hole. I drilled the bolt out and re-tapped it with a left-hand, or drilled it out with a left-handed drill bit, hoping that it would back the bolt out, but it didn't. So I just re-tapped it and just tapped the threads of the old bolt out. And that worked out pretty good. Got an MP15 gasket. I made that because I bought this adapter plate off of eBay, and they sent me the adapter plate and the package, and no gaskets and no bolts. So that kind of irritated me, because I found out last night I could have went to O'Reilly's and got one for the same price that had all the stuff. So found this exact adapter plate at O'Reilly's last night. So I'm gonna put a little Permatex on the gasket. I shouldn't have to, but this adapter is not machined, it's just cast, so be pretty flat surfaces, but I'm gonna put some stuff on it anyways. Same thing with the manifold. So we can get started installing this. Here's my bolts. They're Allen bolts, so I don't particularly care for them, but you have to use them with this adapter. Okay, so I've wiped both the gasket surfaces, so we can go on ahead and flip this over. It's also cold out here today, so this stuff is extremely thick. I don't want to do this on the paint. So that ought to be plenty for the gasket. Keep it held in place for a minute too. Now I'm wishing I'd have set this bottle in the house in front of the heater for a little while. Because yesterday when I was doing this, it was in the 60s. And today it's like 45 out. That ought to be plenty. Be sure to put my ground off place facing the manifold. There. Now we can get our bolts. Which can't tell it's the right size down wrench. Get it started. That's the one that I had to retap right there. Make sure that this thing's sitting right. seems to be. Make sure it wasn't touching the manifold. I don't know if y'all can see past my head or not. Alright, it's open there. I'm gonna grab the carb. Alright, so I got the new gasket. This is all bolted down. Set the gasket down on there. Like that. I wiped down the surface on the carb because it had this oily stuff on it. Set that right there. And we can get our bolts. There we go. Everything seems to be good. Alright, so I can actually get a socket on these, so I'm going to go get a ratchet and a socket. Alright, so it's getting dark, but I can still get these bolts tightened up.
Taking care of you babies there, Mama? You pretty good, Mama, dear.
Yeah, she has stuck with them, hasn't she?
Yep. Yeah, it looks nice on there. Is all your linkage clear when you open it up and stuff?
Yep, everything.
That's good.
Don't over tighten these, just snug them up. I did get a choke cable last night. I've still got to put on. All right then. Seems like it fits pretty good. I don't know if this fuel line will fit on here or not. Like it will. Just get the tag off. Alright, fuel lines on there. I'll put a vacuum cap on that. Figure this out. Alright, so I'm going to see if it'll build fuel pressure and check for leaks. Heard the fuel pump. I see fuel. Heard it fill in the bowl. Accelerator pump worked. I don't know how dead the battery is, but we'll see. Put some choke to it. I tried.
Fuel pump bring anything up?
Yeah. You crank it. I'm gonna go with the choke and the throttle.
Yeah, you probably need to choke it.
All right, crank it. Crank it again. Yeah.
Pump your throttle with your choke closed. Or not closed, you know, take it in about halfway or more. Ready?
Try it again.
Oh, you done choked it.
It is unchoked.
Oh, well then choke it.
All right, try it again. All right, try it again. Try it again.
Just give it some gas. Choke it.
All right, try that.
try that. That got me right in the eyes.
Yeah. You come operate the starter for a minute.
It's running good. Now watch this. That's how easy it starts back up. I mean, that's a warm start, but still won't rev up. But I might have to do some tuning.
Alright, so I'm going to try a cold start on this thing. Put my choke cable on. I changed the jets in it so that it revs up. And I made a extremely temporary throttle linkage out of a coat hanger. But it ain't been ran since last night. So, and I may try to move it up in front of the barn. So, I'm not going to pump the accelerator. Oh. I put the choke in the radio knob. Key on. A little less choke. Oh, so today it's going to be cantankerous. A little bit of gas.
the thing just sounds really good. My fuel filter over there is leaking. I'm gonna have to change that. Alright, so I'm gonna try to take this thing a lap through the yard and see what it does. Just trying to get the idle a little better. I think that went alright. I'm gonna pull it up a little more. I guess that was a decent test drive. I think I made the gas tank slide over to one side of the trunk because it's not tied down. No, it didn't. That's surprising. I don't know how much gas is in it though. So I'm not gonna be taking it on many road trips. I wanna get about 5 gallons to go in it, and that carburetor still needs tuned. Still wondering if it needs bigger jets, but I think I can adjust them metering rod springs, give it a little more fuel, and maybe make my fuel filter quit leaking. I'm gonna change that, make that quit leaking. You really have to put your foot in it to get it to get it to do much. Still like that right there. Thing ain't never started that easy and stayed idling. And I've got a piece of stainless steel rod to make a throttle linkage out of so that coat hanger can go. But it does run good enough to move under its own power. So I guess that's going to be about it for this video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. I want to apologize for not having any videos in 3 weeks. Things been pretty slow. I'm going to adjust on this a little more. And I'm probably going to upload this video on like Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to everybody. I think I'm the first one to ever put a Edelbrock style, it's not a true Edelbrock, 4-barrel on a Packard 327, but seems to do pretty good. Still needs tuning, but that's to be expected. So that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.